So in this video, I'm going to be taking off and replacing the windshield wiper reservoir tank. This one broke. It was hit. My car was hit, and it broke this bracket off, which put a hole in the bottom of this tank. So I'm going to be replacing this tank. I'm going to replace it with this tank here. This new one I got from carparts.com. It's about $64, about almost $80 with shipping and everything. So replacing it with this tank. I've already removed the front bumper. As you can see, you have to remove the front bumper before you can get to this tank. How to remove this bumper is in another video I just made, and I'll put a link at the bottom to show you how to remove your bumper to get to this water tank. So what you're going to need to remove the tank is a 10mm socket with a extension. You've got a screw here. You've got one here at the top, right through there, and then you've got one over here that's holding up this tank to your car. You'll need to unplug this is your water pump, so you'll have to unplug the wire to it, and then carefully take off these two hoses. One goes to the back, one goes to the front of your windshield wipers to remove this tank. So that's what we'll be doing. There's also a screw up here at the top that holds this part of the tank in place. So we'll be removing that bracket. It's just a push bracket that comes loose pretty easily like this, and then this comes off fairly simple, just like that. So we've already loosened that. This comes off, and then I'll feed that through to take the tank off. First of all, we're going to take this plug off. There's a little, you just basically go underneath here, push this forward like that, and then this just pulls right out, just like that. So that's your extension plug. Then we'll take the hoses loose. This one's coming off pretty easy. Kind of twist it back and forth with your fingers until it pulls loose. Okay, same with this one. If they do happen to break, you can easily just cut it off, and there's plenty of slack in these to put another extension on there. But you just kind of break the gap, and both of these come loose just like that. Pull them loose from your tank. Undo the bolts. The bottom one, and then we'll get the one at the top. So the last screw is right over here. Take it out. The others were nuts. This is an actual bolt that's coming out. Okay. Let's pull loose. Got your bolt. This hose part should fall off just like that. So So you can see the hose, the extension part comes right off. Also this wire harness right here that's hooked to the top of your, right through here to this oval hole. The way you get that off is, as you can see, these two ends push together. So you just get some pliers, push those together, and that'll push right on out for you on the top. Okay, now we're going to put the new one in place. This comes with the tank itself and a pump, new pump with it. It comes with extra hose in case you need to run some extra hose, as well as the spout part. Like I said, has that O-ring on it that all you do is slip it down from the top to the bottom, and it'll pop right into place. So we'll get ready to install the tank back into place. Here we go. I'm gonna first put this up in here onto that bolt at the top, slide it on the bolt at the bottom, and then of course this top one has a nut that goes on it, so we'll be putting that in place. Go ahead and put the screws back in place, or at least the nuts back in place on the top and the bottom to keep it secure. Kind of fitting them loosely right now. I just want to get everything in place, and then I'll tighten them all in pretty tight when I get through. Okay, it's pretty good, just like the one that was in there. I'm going to tighten the top and the bottom one. Okay, tank is back in there, and I'm gonna push through this bracket piece so it's locked back in place, the harnesses. So now the wire harness is back where it needs to be. This is the two hoses. So I just put them in their little grooves, push them back onto your pieces like that, put them back in the little groove part, keep them secure. Put your, we're going to put the wire harness back in place. It just snaps right back in, like that. Good to go. Just put it through there, and then put your, I'm gonna rerun this. Well, that's okay. And I'm gonna put this one, slide it right back onto the white one. All right, and it should be done. And then you'll take this push part back out of this one on the old one, so you can put it back on the new one here. And then we're going to run this from the top and push it into the hole, so you can have your fill spout here. Okay, so this is from the top of the car and the engine. You can see the hole where this will go through. Basically, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. We'll try. Basically, feed this little hose through there, just like that, and then you just feed the rest of your spout connection right through there until it goes back in that hole. Once it's in there, you can see it's in there, you just kind of push down real firmly and straight, and that O-ring will seal it off, and you're ready to fill it in. Then you just pop this back into the hole there, bracket back in place, and bracket back in place, and you're good to go. So we'll do that, and then we'll test to see if it works. Okay, I've got the funnel part of it back in place. I've got the tank back in place, filled it up with a little bit of a windshield wiper fluid, hooked up both of the hoses. They look good. Now we're going to test them to see if they work. So go inside the car. Ignition, and we'll try the front one first. Yep, front one works. Okay, and we'll try and see if the back one works. Yep. And that's what it takes to replace your washer water reservoir tank. It's only 3 bolts. And like I said, a connection for the water pump, and then the 2 hose connections, one for the front, one for the back. You see those are in place. And then putting your funnel nozzle through and pop it in place. Now we're ready to put back on the bumper. Hope you saw some value in this video. Say something in the comments, and see you on the next video.